The Redskins and former top 10 pick Ereck Flowers agreed to a one-year contract on Monday, the team announced. The 24-year-old has yet to fully put it together in the NFL, despite playing a ton for both the Giants and the Jaguars. In 4 pro seasons, Flowers has 55 starts and has appeared in 59 total games, so you can look at this transaction from one of 2 angles. 1. The Skins just signed a guy who has shown, in plenty of chances, to still be quite raw, or 2. The Skins just signed a guy with lots of experience who'll be useful in spot duty if needed. While it's tempting to look at Flowers' track record and leave with the first takeaway, it's probably better to end up closer to the second. Of course, Washington isn't signing the Miami product to start at tackle, considering Trent Williams and Morgan Moses are entrenched there. With that being said, they needed a versatile backup to play behind those 2 since they tend to get dinged up and Ty Nsika is no longer in town. The team hopes 2018 third-round pick Aaron Christian can eventually become that long-term solution, but he hardly played as a rookie in 2018. Getting Flowers in the building gives Jay Gruden another option. Now, one thing fans have been asking regarding any offensive lineman recently is whether, insert big person here, will play guard for the Redskins. Perhaps Bill Callahan wants to try that experiment with Flowers, but as of now, there's no indication that's in play. Flowers' new contract can be worth up to $4 million, but you can assume the guarantees are on the very cheap side. In fact, it's no lock he's even on the 53-man roster come September. With all that being said, though, he wouldn't have gone in the top 10 in 2015 if he didn't have some ability. Perhaps he'll figure things out in Washington, where he won't be relied on to start like he has in past stops. If you're going to take a flyer, he's not the worst choice to take one on. More Redskins news. When the Redskins drafted Robert Griffin III with the 2nd overall pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the team and the city of Washington considered it a rebirth. "I remember the 2012 draft vividly," Santana Moss told NBC Sports Washington. "One of the reasons 2011 season was like the crappiest season of all time for myself, I broke my hand, I was overweight, and I remember that off-season, I got that call from the coaching staff like, hey, we need you to shape up or we're going to ship you out." The 2011 season wasn't rough for only Moss. The Redskins were tested at every twist and turn, finishing with a 5-11 record and dead last in the NFC East. A saving grace was desperately needed, so I was getting myself back, fine-tuned, and I remember the bowl season watching this young kid, Robert Griffin III. The 2011 Heisman Trophy winner, Griffin III not only had an arm but the running abilities to make him a real threat. While starting 40 games at Baylor, RGIII threw for 10,366 yards, 78 touchdowns and 17 interceptions while adding 2,254 rushing yards and 33 touchdowns to his resume. For Moss, RGIII's skill set was something the receiver had never had in a QB. When I'm watching that draft that year, to see the Washington Redskins pick him, and knowing the different quarterbacks I played with and just the struggles and the ups and downs, I was pretty ecstatic, Moss added. "I was pretty ecstatic because I knew that his skill level was something that we haven't really had in a while, or I haven't played with in a while. Last person I think I played with like that in a game was Michael Vick in a Pro Bowl game. So to know that we had a guy that can be that dynamic with his legs and with his arm, I was excited to see what our team could become." Of Griffin III earned Pro Bowl honors that year and was named 2012 Offensive Rookie of the Year. While his time in Washington didn't pan out as expected, the 2012 draft and season will go down in history. To listen to Santana's full comments, click the video player above. More Redskins news. The Redskins no major dysfunction. Scott McLaughlin sloppy dismissal. The divorce of RG3 and Mike Shanahan. Albert Hainsworth versus the conditioning test. The bingo collar. Swinging gate 1. Swinging gate 2. Those incidents highlight true, utter dysfunction within the organization. Monday's report of head coach Jay Gruden growing increasingly frustrated by his role in free agency doesn't touch those episodes, but it isn't good news either. Eric Bickel of 106.7 The Fan Sports Junkies reported Monday morning that Gruden was not involved in Washington's decision to sign Landon Collins and has been kept out of the loop much of this offseason. Video above. On some level, however, that's not a surprise. The Redskins have been fairly open about their collaborative football structure, where the scouting and player evaluation side of the building does not always engage with the coaching staff. Doug Williams explained just that last Thursday after the press conference announcing Collins' arrival. "I don't do the scheme thing," Williams said. Williams, the Redskins' senior vice president of player personnel, said that the scouting combine and pre-draft workouts, the scheme is irrelevant and that talented players should be able to fit into the existing scheme. "When we look at players, we look at talent. It's up to the defensive coordinator and the defensive back coaches to scheme him up," Williams said of the Collins signing. "We're not in the room with the scheme. I don't know exactly what the scheme is. That might sound weird, but it's not new." Last year, after the Redskins traded for Alex Smith, Williams and Gruden revealed they were kept out of the loop on that deal too. Williams explained then that Bruce Allen makes the trades, and ultimately, the team president makes final decisions in all football-related matters. Maybe Gruden's frustration level is higher now, but at the end of the 2018 season, the coach touched on the same topic when asked about needed improvements at Redskins Park. "I think just moving forward we all have to be on the same page as far as personnel, coaching and all that stuff," Gruden said at his end-of-season press conference. "It doesn't sound like the personnel side and the coaching staff are on the same page right now, but maybe that's by design. For a team with consecutive 7-9 records and no playoff berths in their last 3 seasons, it's hard to argue the current design has led to much success. Injuries and bad luck have been a factor, but at a certain point, maybe the processes of both the coaching and evaluation side need to be re-examined." By the sounds of Bickel's report, that time has come for Jay Gruden. More Redskins news.